Upside. So recently I watched this video by Red Giraffe, which shows a really good way of creating 3D pixel art in Godot. It shows a way to create better colors and better composition using a new method. So I watched this video and I really liked it. I wanted to create an implementation of this method in Godot. So this is the video. This video will just use the methods that's shown in the video, and I'll show you how to do this in Godot. This isn't a tutorial, I'm just showing that how you do it. I will simply provide the script in the description and you can just add it into your game, and that'll be it. So yeah, that's it for intro. Let's get started. Okay, so I have this basic scene here in Godot. To create the effect, we first go ahead and add a node called subduper. After creating the node, you go ahead and add everything that you have in your scene into node as a child. Everything from lighting to camera to the objects that you want to be in the scene. Once you've done that, you go to the viewport node and set up a size. For me, I am going with a size of 460 by 340 or 400 and 640 and 360. That looks nice. Once you got that, go ahead and add a texture rect. A texture rect node lets you add a texture to a rectangle. And obvious. Go to the anchor preset and set it to full rect. Go to the texture properties in the inspector and select viewport texture. Then select the viewport and hit OK. You can see that it has loaded it in low resolution, but it still looks really bad. For that, we need to change the filter setting. Go ahead and go to the texture tab in the inspector. Set the filter type to nearest, and you already have crisp pixel art. But we still have one single problem. As you can see, the colors are way too fast, and while it is a low resolution pixelated image, it's in no way pixel art. For that, we need to quantize the colors, basically limiting the number of colors that can be on the screen. We can do that the old method that I showed in my previous video, but this time we'll add a little bit of a twist. Instead of limiting the colors just by number, we'll limit them to our color palette. As you know, color palettes are the limited number of colors that are often used in real pixel art. I have some color palette images right here. One of them is this one. This is a 64 by 1 pixel RGB 8 image. This is a color palette that I have created myself in software. You can also create your color palette by going into any sort of software like Photoshop or Sprite. You simply have to create a image by X by 1 pixels. X is the number of colors you want to have. So since my file is 64 by 1 pixels, that means I want to have 64 colors. For each pixel, we'll add one color that we want. This is the color palette I'm using, and if you want to use this same color palette, as you can see here, I can provide the download for this as well. Now that we got our color palette file, which is right here, we'll go to the texture rect. In the texture rect, we'll go to the material tab and create a new shader material. Click on it and create a new shader. I've already created the shader that we're going to be using. It is the pixel art shader right here in the file. You can drag and drop the shader right here. Now, how do you get this shader? Just like my previous video, you can download these shaders from my Patreon, completely free. I've also added these comments here that explain what this does. As I said, this shader is inspired by a video by Red Giraffe, whose channel and the video this shader is inspired by will be linked in the description. Once you've added the shader, you go to the shader parameters tab and list the number of colors that your color palette has. Mine has 64. 64 is quite a big number for pixel art, but I don't like anything lower than that, and I think I was able to get a good result only with 64 colors. You can hit quick load to find the texture you have, and mine is right here. Zoom in and you'll see crisp and beautiful pixel art going all the way with your color and looking really beautiful. Let's go ahead and play this. I've already added an animation to this, so let's see how that goes. I have a script that will play some sort of an animation that I have created. I'm gonna go ahead and update the path to the animation player that's going to be playing the animation, as I've moved it. Let's replay and let's see. And here we have crisp 3D pixel art. Although the resolution is a bit high, you can always tweak it to your liking in the sub viewport settings. I think this is pretty good in my opinion and pretty lovely effect. If you want to check out the project files, you can get them from my Patreon. You can become a member of my Patreon for as low as $1, and it goes a long way in supporting me. Of course, this is nothing big, so if you don't think you want to support me, that's completely alright. These alt assets that I have been using are from Sketchfab, and you can also freely download these. They are in the download file, but I'll also leave a link to these assets alongside any other that I will use. I think that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.